Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Thank you so much for being here. Novi D, glad to see you. Let's see here. Okay. Today's the 19th, isn't it? Or should I say, ain't it? Okay, let me bring up my slides and we'll be good to go. Okay, slides on the way. Connie Bomber! Connie, I received something in the mail. Something absolutely gorgeous. And it sounds like this. Thank you so much, Connie Bomber. I love it. I love it. It's just perfect for me. That is absolutely just perfect for me. It's the best thing that I've gotten since. I love the sounds of Switzerland. Thank you so much for that. Yay! That is perfect. Thank you so much, Connie Bomber. I love surprises. That is just perfect. And thank you so much. Love, love, love it. And love you for it. Thank you so much. Helen Marmon, thank you so much for being here first. Yo, le, le, le. I got to learn how to yodel. Um, uh, I suggest the rest of you get used to it because you know me. I am going to be totally obsessed with this. It is a yodel, yodel lele. Wait. Anyway, I'm going to be obsessed with it as soon as I learn how to pronounce it. uh, Talk about a kid at heart. Okay. Let's see. What do we have here? There is my slide. Okay, there we go. As you know, I always find the most attractive images of everyone for my channel. I don't like for people to look, haggard or despondent. I don't want any pictures of people looking disheveled. I just want them to be themselves. Yes, I want them to be themselves. I try to be as accurate as possible. Is Church Nellie here? There's Church Nellie. Glad you're here. Joan Garcia. Lucy Wynn, long time no see. Sonia Johnson, Fancy Fancy. And Jean Menifee. Okay. Lydia Washington. All right. Okay, so let's get on with it. Cooking with Meghan and William's obsession. I can't believe it, but William has been called out yet again. And you know what? He really does deserve to be called out. I'm just always glad when somebody builds up the nerves to do it. But it's not the first time. It is absolutely not the first time. And I'm going to share that with you. And of course, as usual, I don't think we'll be here more than an hour. Will we? Nah, Probably not more than an hour. Okay. Oh, yes, you guys. Remember yesterday, what did I say it was yesterday? Yesterday was World Humanitarian Day. That's right. Yesterday was World Humanitarian Day. And you know what that means? That means we're supposed to honor all of those people who have, I guess, lend a helping hand, a hand up instead of a handout. Although handouts are fun too. World Humanitarian Day. What does that mean? Okay, so World Humanitarian Day, observed annually on the 19th of August, is a global event that honors humanitarian aid workers and recognizes the sacrifices they make to help people in need. It also aims to raise awareness about the importance of humanitarian work and advocate for the safety and well-being of aid workers. The day commemorates, that is, the 2003 bombing of the United Nations headquarters in Baghdad, which killed 22 aid workers, including the UN Special Representative for Iraq, Sergio Vieira del Mello. So that is when, and you know, given everything that's happening in Gaza right now, um, I believe it's taken on a whole new meaning. So God bless those people who have sacrificed to do the things that most of us either can't do or, in a lot of cases, would not do. That is some very, very important work that they do. I, of course, think of Jose Andreas and all of the team that works with World Central Kitchen and all the other aid and charities, the Red Cross, the Red Crescent. So, yeah, those people deserve our thoughts and our prayers. And if we only do that on August the 19th, then so be it. But it's something that we should honor every day. So again, it is World Humanitarian Day. Hello, Susie. Vivian Green. Did I see Puzzle Dot? I think I did. Yes. What kind of world do you want? What kind of world do you want? I want a world where people help one another. Yes, where we uplift and celebrate each other, that we can feed and clothe each other. Okay. Is Dorothy Ross here? Did I just see Dorothy Ross somewhere? I see Doretha Green. Anyway, welcome, Dorothy Ross, if you're here today. Okay. I love this image right here. Okay. Again, today is World Humanitarian Day. Now, having as much civic pride as I do, the first time I saw this image, I'm like, wow, this is fun. I love the way they got everything all spread out. And then I said, wait a darn minute. Where's Chicago? You know, I do not tolerate Chicago being ignored. The great city like Chicago should always be included in something like this. I mean, you got those rocks out there in the desert and the Statue of Liberty. Where is Chicago? So, you know how I am. I fixed it. I fixed it. And I even threw a couple of my favorite airlines. Actually, that is only one airline, the hometown Chicago airline, United. And I threw the old Sears Tower in there. Do not ignore my city. I said, do not ignore my city. See how easy it was to fix that? Everybody, I fix. There we go. Now that looks better. That's the kind of world that I want to live in. Never ignore Chicago. Okay. Megan cooking up more than pasta with homemade preserved lemons. So much goodness is coming soon. Oh boy, you guys, I wonder what that means. So much goodness is coming soon. Okay, let's take a look at the video. Now, of course, because of the copyright, I had to do something with the sound. Didn't want to get in trouble, so I had to change it a bit, but still, I think you'll find it most enjoyable. Okay, give me just a second. And okay, that didn't work out. Let me try that. Yes, there we go. Yes, there we go. Cooking with Megan. Let's see who just joined us here. Elaine Parker, thank you. Oh, there we go. Elaine Parker, thank you so much for the super sticker. And also thank you for being a member as well as a moderator for Royal Sussex. And it looks like Deborah Anderson has just joined us. Welcome, welcome. And Karen with a C, I see you there. What? 40 months membership? Thank you so much for that. 40 months. Where has the time gone? Where has the time gone? 40 months membership. That is outstanding. Thank you so much for that. Hello, Cookies and Cream wants to say hi to a few people. Let's help out right there. Janice Goodrich, welcome. And let's see. Kennedy, ask not what your content creator can do for you. Ask what you can do for your content creator. You know what y'all can do? A membership. And memberships are only $4.99 a month. $4.99 a month. You won't even miss it. It comes with the price of a cup of coffee. Now, everyone's not able to do things online like that. So, in the meantime, do make sure you're hitting the like button and so on. Okay? All right. Okay, let's go to the next one. So, Amanda Playtale, Prince William needs to man up. His new obsession suggests he has forgotten everything the late Queen stood for. This is why I fear for the future. You guys, I told you, I just watched a video with David Starkey, and David Starkey is very much a royalist. And even he said that he is worried about the future of the monarchy. Everybody's worried. William and Kate will not work. That's not the way these things go. That's not the way it's supposed to be. They think these little slick videos that they make and this little film crew that follow. You notice you never hear people talk about Netflix cameras anymore, right? When was the last time you heard someone criticize the Sussexes for their Netflix cameras? You don't, because Will and Kate, they have become one of the biggest scandals in their whole royal careers since they've married are the way these cameras are following them around. But it didn't start at the beginning. It really didn't start until Harry and Meghan went to California, and now all of a sudden it's Cecil B. DeWilliams and give me another one, uh, Kate Lucas. Yeah, Cecil B. DeWilliams and Kate Lucas. They think they're Hollywood now. So it is catching up to them. It's not the first warning. Zandy Sussex says she called their work underwhelming and forgettable. But will he and Kate, so far underwhelming charitable work, his Earthshot Prize offshoot, or Kate's Center for Early Childhood, both woke, worthy, and frankly, what is that? Unforgettable? Cut the mustard. And then Zandy goes on to say, deep down, they've always known that William is a raging sociopath who will be the final nail in the coffin for the British monarchy. I'll just be over here laughing hysterically and eating popcorn. Like I said, it is getting to that point. It really is. It is beyond that point. Now, let me find that article. Let's kind of peruse through this, right? So, news that the privacy obsessed Prince William, wow, privacy obsessed Prince William has found his forever home in the isolated 8-bedroom Forest Lodge, where he says he will live even after becoming king, should raise red flags about what the heir might sacrifice to shield his family. Is it his family that he's shielding? I wonder about that. What damage will William control freak tendencies and stubborn insistence on privacy wreak when he takes the crown? What could the prince's obsession with protecting his own family eventually do for the monarchy? How is he protecting his family when every time you turn around, he's parading those kids out there? Especially whenever he gets in trouble about football, it's always to do with the women's football. And what does he do? He goes dragging Charlotte all over the place, using her like a safety blanket. The paraphrase the mantra of his cherished and wise grandmother, the late queen, for the royal family to survive an ever-changing world, we have to be seen to be believed. During her reign, she carried out more than 21,000 engagements, even up to the days before death. This is why I constantly criticize Kate. I don't care what Kate is going through. The queen was near death and still managed to perform her duties. Near death. I mean, she shook hands with Liz Truss, and next thing you know, they were preparing that storm shelter over there at the St. George Chapel. They were literally opening up the storm shelter down at the St. George Chapel for the newest occupants. Now, if that is the case, surely someone like Kate, who otherwise has known nothing but health and vigor her whole life, surely she could have made the obligatory public engagement. Kate has been using those children for years as an excuse to not show up. Now she has another excuse to not show up. I wish every working class person who happens to have had a bout of illness or some type of medical emergency or life changing event. I wish everyone could just sit home and think about how we're going to sort this out. How am I going to calibrate? How am I going to balance things? No, most people have to get up and go to work. Most people have to pack a lunch for their children. Whatever the case may be, most people are not afforded the excuses, the constant excuses that Kate Middleton and William have used over the years. Well, after all, they're raising the next royals. They're raising the future king. Oh, hogwash. In comparison, last year, William did 71, a puny figure against his 70-year-old aunt, Princess Anne, 474, even after she was kicked in the head. I'm sorry. Even after she was kicked in the head by a horse. Wait a minute. How often do they let horses run free around these estates? Oh, yeah, most days. Never mind. Even after she was kicked in the head by a horse, y'all remember that, right? Princess Anne was found unconscious, laying in the grass. And of course, she was kicked so hard, it was loose squares everywhere, Newports all over the place. I mean, she was kicked so hard, it scattered Newports all over the lawn. And of course, witnesses said the first thing that she said when they got her up was, "Which way did he go? Which way did he go?" That was her first words. Um, that's not funny, you guys. She could have been hurt. Don't you all dare laugh at that. She could have been seriously hurt. Um, yes, we all understand why he scaled back his duties while caring for Kate after her cancer diagnosis. How devastating it must have been for the entire family. As a nation, we came together in sympathy. Did they, though? Did the entire nation come together in sympathy? I'm just asking. Including the many thousands of families going through similar turmoil. Not the thousands of families like Kate's, where there's no waiting to see a doctor, where you don't queue up for anything, not even a prescription, not those families. Just the families where, anyway, representing the Wellses' need for time and space to heal, we gave them that time. You hear that? Do you hear the frustration in Amanda Playtel's voice? We gave you the time. Okay? And pretty soon it's going to be going on 2 years. And how much more time do you need? Let me do that one more time. Yes, we all understand why he scaled back his duties while caring for Kate after her cancer diagnosis. How devastating it must have been for the entire family. As a nation, we came together in sympathy, including the many thousands of families going through similar turmoil. Respecting the Wellses, respecting the Wellses' need for time and space to heal, we gave them that time. All right, that time has been given, and it has been a year and a half plus. Okay, it's been more than 18 months. Now what's next? Okay, now what's next? Are you going to go to work? Are you both going to sit home? Are you both going to queue up the next video sessions? What happens next? Of course, we realize his obsession with privacy and having a normal family life for his children has defined his own deeply unhappy, dysfunctional childhood with warring parents, scarred by the death of his mother, Princess Diana, and wanting to protect his family from royal duties for as long as possible. We all recognize that while he is the king in waiting, right? The king in waiting. He is not the king yet. He is the king in waiting. Joan Garcia says William can't even read the room, the environment, or the world. He's too full of ego, hate, jealousy, hostility, anger, pent up emotions, etc. That sounds like William. Thank you so much, Joan Garcia, for the super chat. And also, thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex. Okay, and continuing, it says here, yet with all due respect, William's privacy doesn't come as part of the job description for the King of England, which leaves us questioning, will Prince William put being a husband and father before king and country? Will he put being a husband and father before king and country? Now, see, I think that gives him a way out because I promise you, I have worked through some horrific illness and pain and everything else because I have to support myself. I have to support family. I have things I have to do. And for that reason, I go to work. A lot of people go to work. William has the luxury of sitting around and thinking about what to do next. And when he feels like it, he decides to go on another vacation. I don't know what they could have possibly have been thinking with these multiple vacations. 6 since Christmas. 6 vacations since Christmas, including 2 ski holidays, the Isle of Mystique, and time on a billionaire's yacht, a 450-pound yacht, taking the entire Middleton family. Even that dog that Kate's brother is so enamored with, even took the dog. And then got upset because people spoke about it. Just like when they went skiing, they threatened to sue because people spoke about it and took photos of it and shared it. And there was Kate trying to find balance, skiing up and down the slopes like some kind of snow bunny. How do they justify that? It's about time that somebody calls him out, even if it's only for his own sake. That's the only reason why they're doing it, is to save the monarchy. Oh, here's some, let's see, Baron, we had confirmation from Dorothy Ross that she is now cancer free. What a wonderful blessing and cause for a salsa. Let's do it. Thank you for sharing that news. All right, this one is for Dorothy Ross. Let's do it. Okay, now I think the proper protocol is I fought, I endured, I ring the bell in celebration. There we go. All right. That's for you, Dorothy Ross. Okay. And back to this one. And thank you, Lydia Washington, for the super sticker. Okay, let me see. I'm looking at a couple of your comments here. Oh, you're quite welcome for the dance. You're quite welcome. Ah, thank you very much, Felton. Carol Lund, thank you very much for that. Jacqueline, thank you very much. Okay. All right. Let's see. Oh, Puzzle Dot says, Dorothy Ross, happy for you. Absolutely. Thank you very much for that. Okay. Thank you so much for that, Stephanie Baker. Praise the Lord. Dorothy Ross is cancer free. What a relief. Absolutely. Okay. All right. Okay, make sure I didn't miss anyone. All right. Thank you very much. Let's see. As a prince, he already enjoys eye-watering privileges, including inheriting the Duchy of Cornwall worth almost £1 billion, from which he receives a whopping £23 million a year salary. You know how easy it is to maintain your beard with that? Do you know how easy it is to maintain your beard with £23 million a year? You can keep that beard all lined up. Yeah. Matter of fact, you can keep more than one beard with that kind of money. There, if you know, you know. There will come a time, who knows how soon, when William has to man up for the role he was born into or not. Wow, these are some heavy hitting words here. I fear a future part time king hiding away in Forest Lodge on the Windsor estate could result in even greater collapse of support among his subjects, which by the time he takes the crown, the population could largely be made up of Gen Z, of whom, according to YouGov poll from last year, only 29% believe the monarchy is good for Britain and are more likely to want to elect the head of state. Now, you know what? They assume that, like generations past, that when the older generation ages and becomes, well, their parents, when they age and become their parents, so to speak, they believe that the generations that age into that system will suddenly feel like, oh my goodness, thank God we have this overindulgent family with all their privileges, helicopters, planes, trains, and automobiles. Thank goodness we have that. What would we do if we didn't have a select few people that only by an accident of birth are given the mother of all privileges? I'm so glad we don't have an elected head of state. How long is that going to last? How many miles are you going to get out of that? I mean, after all, they're not getting that many miles out of Kate's cancer thing these days, are they? Kate's cancer or precancer cells. You see, it's like crying wolf. It really is like crying wolf. And it's a disservice to people who actually have suffered and still have to go to work, who still have to maintain their families. And we found that out when that one reporter used the term most mere mortals, most mere mortals. Do you remember that? Do you remember the backlash that came from that, even from royalists? Because it was insulting. It was insulting. And it would be easier to have sympathy had there been some foundation of a work ethic, but there isn't. Not for Will, not for Kate. And they are literally teaching their children to back out of things whenever it's convenient for you. I don't know where William got that from. I honestly don't. I don't know where he got it from. I mean, I'm being very generous to call what the royals do work, but I don't know where he got that from. There is something deeply unsettling about the fact the Welleses have chosen a comparatively modest home tucked away, a home which will require its own security staff as it falls outside Windsor Castle's ring of steel, accessible via a private road with one local saying it's about as isolated as you can get, and William declaring, perhaps unwisely, that Forest Lodge is the home he and his family will live in forever. That is their forever home, y'all. Also raises worrying questions about the kind of monarch he will be. In the age of a voracious social media world, which cries out for more than the occasional snaps of the royal brood or a tender video of Kate hugging a tree. Woo! I tell you, they're going in, aren't they? It also sends a strong message of what kind of king he intends to be. Windsor Castle was earmarked for William and Kate by the late Queen, a lavish venue where she hosted many official events with presidents, prime ministers, and other monarchs while in residence there. But that now seems unlikely to even be an official part-time home for the Welleses. Listen, Adelaide Cottage is within the Windsor estate, right? And this Forest Lodge is a Crown Estate property, but I don't think it's inside of the Windsor grounds or the Great Windsor Park, whatever it is. It's outside of the usual security perimeter, right? The article goes on to say it's clear there will be no official audiences invited to Forest Lodge. Unlike King Charles and Camilla, the Queen Consort, the Queen Cohort, London home Clarence House, which is regularly used to host events for the great and the good, pictures of which are beamed worldwide. Oh, I tell you, Amanda Platel is going in. Yes, he deserves to get dragged. Hey, Anastasia, he really does. He deserves to be dragged. Okay, I'm going to get to that one in a minute. Let me see here. Of course, William and Kate can use their apartment in Buckingham Palace, refurbished as part of the 369 million works on the building, paid for by we taxpayers, and they still have apartment 1A at Kensington Palace, where staff for their charities are based. Okay, she's forgetting a few properties like Anmer Hall and Adelaide Cottage and that joint up there in Scotland. But will he and Kate's so far underwhelming charitable work, his Earthshot Prize offshoots, which encourages youngsters to devise ways to save the world, or Kate's Center for Early Childhood, both woke, worthy, and frankly forgettable, cut the mustard. Kate's passion for children's early learning hardly compares with Diana walking through landmines to save children's lives in war-torn African countries. William's Earthshot Prize also, I'm sorry, is also but a shadow of his father, King's trust, that was helped, that has helped more than 1 million young people into employment and business. That is something to think about. Like Charles or not, the King's Trust is legendary. It's what Charles did for the how long? 70 years that he waited to be king. That's a lot of work. William didn't actually start doing something until he turned 40. And the best he could come up with was Earthshot. Earthshot? David Starkey struggled to remember the name of it, Earthshot. As for how our future king's phantoms, he could reconcile his own demands for privacy while being the head of one of the last thriving royal dynasties in the world is not clear. It's not the kind of monarchy his beloved grandmother believed in, nor his mother Diana, who, despite her personal sadness, knew that visibility and glamour were key to keeping the royal family vibrant and relevant. One thing's for sure, Prince William has a huge decision to make in the forthcoming years. He spends hidden away in Forest Lodge before he ascends to the crown. Can he step up to the job he was born into and secure the future of the monarchy? Given his current form, I, like so many devout monarchists, have serious doubt. After decades of King William, I fear the royal family will be just like all other minor European royals, insignificant, unremarkable, occasionally appearing on the inside pages of Hello magazine, and pure vanilla. Wow. And pure vanilla, meaning very little taste. Anyway, that was Amanda Playtell socking it to William, calling him out. And as I said, it's not the first time. Disco or duty? The petulant prince must now choose, writes commentator Robert Jobson. Back in 2017, you see that? 2017, pre-Meghan. You might think there is something endearing about unguarded dad dancing, royal arm akimbo, pumping hard but out of time. Here was a man on the brink of middle age. Here is a man on the brink of middle age. Here was determined to let what remains of his hair down. But plenty have taken a sterner view of William. And if the pictures and videos are disappointingly fuzzy, the overall impact could hardly have been more clear. Now, take a look. This is what he's talking about. William went skiing when he should have been at the Commonwealth. The Commonwealth, whatever you call it, Commonwealth Day at Westminster Abbey. William was supposed to attend Commonwealth Day, but instead he took his family skiing. He just took off. And you would think that Kate would be like trying to, say, oh, I don't think we should do that. No, she's a co-conspirator in their decline. Or should I say, just as lazy as her husband. He's out there pumping his arms. Whoop, whoop. Nobody's dancing but him, by the way. And the reactions from the people in the room, well, take a look at these young ladies. Look at how the one young lady is looking into the camera, unimpressed. Do you see anybody rushing to dance with William? Huh? Do you see any of those ladies rushing to get to William? No, because they don't care. They don't care. I mean, the young lady is just like, what is that the Queen used to say? We're not amused. She is totally not amused. Robert Jobson's article was a call to William, an appeal to him to grow up and do your job, be present for the royal family. There, say his critics, is a prince of the realm wavering between the competing needs of disco and duty, an heir to the throne caught out on lad's weekend with blonde model or two when he should have been safely at home observing Commonwealth Day in Westminster Abbey. Dull, perhaps, but a key date in the royal diary. Even his admirers would concede that last week's images have made quite a dent in a carefully crafted public persona. The caring family man, part of the almost perfect William and Kate double act. You see what I'm saying? That was 2017, and Robert Jobson, probably on behalf of Charles, called him out, hoping that somehow he could, snap him back into reality, that he has more pressing things to do besides taking this ski holiday. But such is his priorities. He just decided to go. They are afraid of William. Nobody tells William what to do. They gave the impression he didn't care. Not for the first time in recent months, William finds himself described as work shy and irresponsible. How then did Prince or his team of advisors get it so wrong? How did they get it so wrong? His team of advisors. One answer is the sugar coated image he enjoyed for so long was almost too good to be true. For scratch the surface of William, and what you find is a complex character. There is an overconfidence which some say is bordering on arrogance. Bordering on arrogance? Just call him what he is. He's arrogant. And which a senior palisade now fear is clouding his 34-year-old judgment. At the time, he was 34. He can be petulant, capricious, even hostile, I am told, words you might not readily associate with the second in line to the throne. But of course, that's exactly who he is. Once again, Robert Jobson wrote this article. Even his father, the Prince of Wales, has given up on passing on advice to his headstrong eldest son. And he is not alone. Most of those close to William say they prefer to act as a sounding board rather than run the risk of a confrontation. It is safer that way. Even the Queen has concluded it is best to let William find his own path to make his own mistakes. And as I suspected, even the Queen was afraid of him. Everyone is afraid of him. Nobody can talk to him. The only person who would be willing to tell him the truth, whatever the consequences, we already know who that is. That, of course, is Prince Harry. No one else has the ability to get through to him. Oh, let me see. MG, thank you so much for the Cash App. Almost missed that. Thank you very much for that. But yeah, there you have it. They are afraid of him. The Queen, afraid of him. Charles, afraid of him. Nobody is willing to confront him. And thus, he is allowed to make these horrendous mistakes. It shows that he's lacking in character for sure. There will be plenty who feel William is due a little sympathy, but in life, whether prince or pauper, timing is everything. And if he is not careful, the work shy Wills label will stick. Well, fast forward to 2025, and Workshy Willie is present and accounted for, isn't he? His destiny is mapped out for the next 50 years in a way none of us can truly appreciate. A sense of entitlement might be inevitable, but there perhaps lies the problem. Sources in the royal household say that, in contrast to his father and grandmother, William is not the best listener. As one explained, the Duke of Cambridge has some very good, innovative ideas. Well, what good is that if he doesn't listen to people, though? But the Duke can be a little unforgiving. When he gets it right, everyone is patting him on the back. But who is there to criticize him and warn against getting it wrong? At Kensington Palace, a dedicated but notably youthful group of advisors is slavishly loyal to the boss. But a lack of experience can have drawbacks too. Private Secretary Miguel heads his accomplished, but for Williams' press team, it is a steep learning curve. Anyway, that pretty much was the article. Yeah, that is pretty much it. Uh huh. Uh huh. Yeah, that's the article. So again, that was Robert Jobson trying to send out a wake up call to William. Now, there is the blonde in question holding a drink there. There's some more of William with those uh, dad dance moves that he's so famous for. Something is terribly, terribly wrong with this guy. This guy has psychological issues. I don't care what anybody says. That over exaggerated pumping of the arms and the grimace on his face, it's as you know, this is why people compare him to a sociopath. I'm not saying that he is a sociopath, but he has certain displays that he puts on from time to time that one would find consistent with a sociopath, and that is an over exaggerated response to everyday emotions. Sociopaths do not know how to feel. So, what they do is they mimic what they see other people do, right? That's how I understand it. They tend to mimic emotions rather than truly feel emotions. They're pretty flat as far as excitement is concerned. But what they have plenty of is the skill to imitate what other people do. And that's what it appears to be Williams' thing with all of this arm pumping, even for the most, you know, ridiculous things, the most anecdotal things. He's out there pumping his arms. I mean, come on. Is he really that excited? He's never been to a club before. He's never been to a club. Is there some kind of substance involved? Is it alcohol? What is going on? We see this when he goes to a sports event. He is the loudest and the most animated every place he goes. He goes to a Taylor Swift concert, and there he is again, cheering and pumping his arms like crazy. I'm just a bit suspect about it. That's all I'm saying. I find it rather suspect. Let me see. Rosie Pete from Blackpool was named as one of the blondes who partied with William. Did she party with William, or is this a cover for something more interesting? Huh? You know what I'm saying? Is she just there for the sake of his image? I'm starting to think so. And again, I can never get enough of that look. I love that look. Like, oh, brother. Oh, get me out of here. Whose dad is that? Right? Hey, whose dad? Who brought their dad to the party? That's what she looks like. Hey, Who brought their dad to the party? That's the look you have when your father embarrasses you. When a parent embarrasses you, that's the look she has there. And no one is even dancing with him. He's quite by himself and quite content. Yes, Willie, hungry for attention. I'll say so. Look at there. Oh, Lord. What is really going on? I'm telling you, the man is not well. The man is not well. That 9 iron has done more than damage than I suspected. All it takes is a rogue 9 iron, and next thing you know, the future king is all over the place. Kavan Slim says now that Harry and Meghan are fairly quiet, the British media has no choice but to do their jobs and report on the leftovers. Thank you very much, Kavan Slims. I think it goes further than that, though. I think that more people are talking about this new house than they expected. It's a combination for certain that the Sussexes, they don't really have anything to say except for to regurgitate the old headlines. And there's a big story brewing about a very privileged prince, a future king, who has moved to house number 6 since he married. They just don't want to miss it. They ignored the yacht story. They ignored that. But this one, for some reason, seems to have captured their imagination. So I don't think it's just a matter of them wanting the profits from the clickbait. I think they're trying to publicly shame him, to warn him to do his work. Just as Robert Jobson did in 2017, Amanda Platel is picking up the cause and trying to remind him that you have a very privileged position in this country and people expect you to do your work. There's an audience of one, perhaps two, and that is Will and Kate. We really need you to do your work. This is a very, very detailed article. It just explains everything in detail. This is what's going wrong. This is what you need to do. Do your job. Otherwise, there won't be a job to do. Is he taking the warning? Who knows? I suspect that this is a combination of royalists and Clarence House sending the message to Kensington Palace. Now, whether they are going to listen is anybody's guess. But thank you again for your comment, and thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Do your work. Kensington Palace did awful lot of leaking on Harry and Meghan, claims royal commentator. Of course, that was Robert Jobson. See, every so often, Robert Jobson will get it right, but more often than not, he is there for the pleasure of Charles and Camilla. But when he gets it right, he gets it right. Just not often enough to satisfy me. Take a look at that. How sulky wheels proved the camera does lie. William has always had behavior issues. Prince William's decision to lie about contracting the big C earlier, for whatever reason, is appalling. KP were asked several times by the media whether Prince William had contracted the virus and were told categorically no. This has created a serious issue of trust. Much like with the Where's Kate Middleton? Where's Kate? Why would anybody believe them, given the history of Kensington Palace and the Welleses or the Cambridges? If the palace is prepared to lie about an issue as serious as Prince William's second in line to the throne contracting a virus, what else have they lied about when questioned by the press? And why should the media believe any denials going forward? This raises serious issues. Again, when Robert Jobson decides to do his job, he will do his job. Most people don't really, sorry about that. Most people don't really do that, and he doesn't do it often enough. And I wish he would, but he doesn't do it often enough. William has a notably short fuse, is difficult to handle, and he screams at staff. Robert Jobson wrote, what is it, William at 40, The Making of a Modern Monarch. Now, that book was a big failure, and I don't even think they even tried to promote it all that much because it was a big, fat, nothing burger. But I believe, this is just my opinion, I believe that Charles, Clarence House, they try to communicate with William. They're afraid to speak to him directly, especially Charles. But all they could do is to cast a very wide net and hope that his staff can talk to him because no one else can. And the one person who would be willing to say what needs to be said has been driven out of the country, right? They chased Harry and his family away. So they don't have Harry to speak to him because we know Harry, if nothing else, is honest. He will tell the truth. Harry does not lie. William lies, but Harry does not lie. Much to his own detriment sometimes, he just does not lie. But they don't have that safety net. That's why they want Harry back, because he's the only person who can talk to him. No one else will do it. They don't want Meghan. They don't want the kids. They need Harry. They need Harry. Harry does not care. He will tell him the truth in a way that no one else will. Helene, thank you so much for being here. Hello, everyone. Finally, one of my time zones. One of my time zones. When I am at best, I love the middle of the night. Woo, yeah. Okay, well, thank you so much for being here. And as always, thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex. By the way, today is Drag Willie Day. Let's see. Prince William has notably short fuse in private and can sometimes be difficult to handle, a royal author has claimed. Journalist Robert Jobson writes that the Duke of Cambridge can be a bit of a shouter, and his temper can blow up at any time when the future king is frustrated or when an issue concerns his family. Insiders reportedly claim even William's senior aides will check if the wind is blowing, which way the wind is blowing, should I say, before asserting themselves around him or broaching subjects that may be problematic. Why? Because they're afraid. They're terrified. Charles, notorious for his anger, for his, for his temper. But William, even worse. Even worse. Worse than Andrew, the sick old man. Worse than Charles. Nobody wants to talk to him. Not even Queen Elizabeth would talk to him. How much time did William spend with his grandmother doing official duties before she died? How much? None. None. Practically nothing. You would think that he would want to learn from someone who's been on the throne all those years. He did not care to do it. He did not want to do it. So it did not happen. Now, what happened behind closed doors, I don't know. But the best way to do the job, to learn the job, is to be there in the Queen's shadow, especially to see how an aging monarch is treated. He refused to do it. Ask me how I know. I'm just going to tell you. It's just a hunch. He refused to do it. He doesn't spend time doing duties with his father. He didn't even go to the VJ Day. He refused to go to that. No explanation. He just didn't go. And let us not forget the carriage ride at the Royal Ascot. William looking at the camera, Charles looking down the road, Camilla diverting her eyes over to the fourth person in the carriage. There was no connection there whatsoever. The two houses of Windsor are at war, and everybody close to the family knows it. But they are afraid to report. Just like the summit that they had with Harry's people, William's people were not invited, lest they should try to assert themselves on his behalf. Kavan says, I can't wait for Meghan to write her memoirs. Me too. Me too. It's going to be a while because she's in her season of joy. So I don't suspect that's going to happen anytime soon, but I'm here for it whenever that happens. Whenever that happens. Legs. Hey, Legs has joined us. Let's see. All right. Welcome to the party. My God, I can't wait until the papers can talk about Prince William freely. Oh, that sound lingers in the air, doesn't it? I can't wait until the papers can talk about Prince William freely. I think we all know what that means. We all know what that means. That the big secret that they have been concealing from the public, all of the secrets, not the big secret, but I'm sure there's a few. We can finally know who the real William is. We know what he's like, but we don't know who the real William is. His taste in the pleasurable things in life. Prince William poses in his red cap selling the Big Issue magazine with pal Dave for the third time in a year after vowing to end homelessness once and for all. The first time that he was with Dave, it was leading up to his birthday, and someone happened to catch him on the street. Some civilian snapped a photo and uploaded it to social media, right? And I said at the time, and I'm sure other people said the same thing, the only reason why he's out there is that this has got something to do with his birthday scheme. And that's exactly what it was. And it is an opportunistic, transactional relationship that he has with Dave. I mean, after all, everybody knows that William only sleeps rough with black men. Dave's not his preference for sleeping rough. But we all know that William slept on the streets of London. As they say, he slept rough with a black man some time ago. And I don't suspect that there's, much of a connection with Dave. But the person that he slept rough with all those years ago. They've been friends for over 10 years. And he was one of the first ones to speak up and say, oh, no, he's not racist. Mm-hmm. Breathtaking, dishonest, secrecy, and corruption. Prince William has plenty to hide. That is what someone put on the Twitter. They added that to the Twitter. You got to take your breath away. It will take your breath away. It's just too bad we don't really get to hear it, the actual truth. Let's see. Leg says he has a Rolex on in the pic. It is worth 12,000 K. I noticed that. He wore his big designer watch on the streets to sell those papers because there was no one within his orbit that had the courage to tell him, don't wear that. Do not wear that. He did it anyway. Because he will not listen. And people are afraid to speak to him. One of the ways that you can tell what his temperament is just think about the attack upon Prince Harry. He literally came over there, and Harry said he knew that look. He understood that William was going to be difficult. So to try and neutralize the situation, he tried to give him some water to drink so that he can calm down. And there was William with his chest rising up and down with every breath. His chest is heaving back and forth, his chest, because he is turning red. He is incandescent with rage. And what really disturbs me about that is that he wasn't there for Harry. He wanted to talk to Meghan. He was there for Meghan. I really cringe to think about him showing up to speak to Meghan, coming over there, spitting out all of these comments from the tabloids. Harry told him, you sound just like the tabloids. You've been reading the tabloids. The tabloids informed William. His jealousy was what drove him, but the tabloids informed him, gave him an excuse to take action. So I won't say that the tabloids are the ones that caused his rage. No, they just reinforced what he was already thinking, that there's something wrong with Meghan. And what they did was they gave him a blueprint. She did this, she did that. And then what happens? He comes running over there to Nottingham Cottage like a bat out of hell. He comes running over there to do what? That's what I want to know. What exactly was he there for? What did he have to say in that moment that was so pressing that he ends up knocking his brother to the floor? And then, like an abuser, he tells his brother, don't tell Meg. He's an abuser. He literally abused his brother. I believe what Harry said. And what did the press do? The press gave him coverage. Well, what did Harry do? Who gives a damn what Harry did? Harry was in his house, not at William's house. Who cares? It's not a matter of what did Harry do. Harry was at home. If you got a problem with Harry, go to your father. He's the one that's king, or at least he's the head of that household at the time. As the Prince of Wales, his father was the head of the household. You got a problem with Harry, go to your father. Nope. What does he do? He comes over there like Raging Bull. I really don't have a lot of sympathy for him or his wife. I think they are too. And this is what gets me is Harry and Meghan. What is that thing that they say that they have made some really poor decisions? I want to know what guides a person when they have the weight of the British tabloid media woofing down their necks every day. You have your brother and his people leaking and briefing information constantly. You have your stepmother leaking and briefing. You have your father, even if he's not leaking and briefing, plotting against you, taking your security away. I don't care what mistakes the Sussexes have made because none of those people, including the tabloid media, none of them have been persecuted on a daily basis. None of them have been electronically lynched on a daily basis. None of them. Not even Charles. This has been, how long has it been? 6 years, 7 years of continued attacks. So if they make a mistake, so what? I don't know who could. Meghan is vetted more than anyone running for president of the United States. And I've lived through several presidential elections. I know what I'm talking about. It is at least 2 years of nonstop coverage until election day. And then all of a sudden it just kind of drops off the cliff. There is no election day for Meghan. She's not going to get any relief. This is an ongoing thing and it will continue. It will continue. There is no rest. So when I see people say, "Oh, Meghan has the worst judgment," that's what Tina Brown said. Meghan has the worst judgment. Who's after Tina Brown? And when it comes to the younger generation, who even knows who Tina Brown is? Who even knows who Tina Brown is? There's no one on TikTok going after Tina Brown, critiquing everything she says and does. They don't even know who the hell she is. But she's worried about Meghan's judgment, as though everybody's blaming Tina Brown for everything that has gone wrong in a country 5,000 miles away on a daily basis, rather than talking about what to do about the homeless, food insecurity, or pensioners who can't pay for their electric service. Rather than speak about that, rather than speak about problems with the NHS, no, rather than speak about that, we have to figure out how Queen Elizabeth saw something in Meghan. How many years ago was that? Back in 2018, 7, 8 years ago? How Queen Elizabeth saw something in Meghan, that one thing that told the Queen everything she needed to know. That is a typical article any given day of the week about Meghan. Who speaks of Kate like that? Well, I do. I do. The British media and derangers really think the person they created in their minds is the real Meghan, and the Meghan you see every day is fake. Thank you for that, Yvonne. Um, they have indoctrinated people. They have brainwashed. They have they've did the gaslighting. They've done all of those things to turn the lies into truth. And there's always going to be someone that falls for the okey doke. I mean, there are millions of people who voted for the occupant of the White House. For a third time, they voted for him. And some of those people have been rounded up and sent to internment camps. Some of those people have watched their relatives being rounded up. Some of those people have lost their businesses. Some of those people, their farms are on their way out. Some of those people. And people tried to tell them the first time. They tried to tell them the second time. And then they tried to tell them the third time. And you know what they say? 3 times is the charm, right? And so this third time is a laundry list of people that have lost this and they lost that and they lost this and they lost that. And in some cases, they were kicked out of the country. Because of their unwavering support for the wrong cause. So I compare the Brexit people to the MAGA people. They're opposite sides of the same coin. I don't expect any reason or accountability from them. And to satisfy my hunch, sometimes I go into the social media of people that say some of the worst things. And what do you see? You see the kind of stuff that is consistent with MAGA and with Brexit. People who believed the hype, who believed that one person had an answer compared to every expert that has ever lived. They thought that one person had the answer, and they still believe that one person. And we see how that worked out for them. It's hideous. Thank you again for the comment. Let me see here. Oh, this is fun. I don't know how I missed this, but go back to February the 7th. I think it was this year. Meanwhile, the heir, aka Peggy, is publicly displaying his perversion at a men's, I guess that's men's shed in, or is that shelter? Shed? And is that Carnoustie? Carnoustie? What is he doing to that wood toy? Look at his body language. What a disgusting man. Future head of the Church of England. Hashtag Prince of Pegging. Hashtag abolish the monarchy. Hashtag Prince William. How did I miss this? How did I miss this? Now, I know you're straining yourselves to see. Let me help you out. First, he takes said toy and he examines it, right? Giving it quite a provocative grip about the ankle and the waist. But that's not it. And it doesn't hurt that the toy that the toy has that, oh no, look on his face. Not to mention the other toy is just as nervous. I mean, those toys are freaked out. What is he doing? That's what he's doing, right? That's what he's doing. I won't even describe what he's doing because I'm afraid. And having satisfied his things, whatever's going on inside of him, then he rubs his hands with satisfaction. He literally rubs his hands together with satisfaction, much to the dismay of everyone around as they laugh nervously, lest they should provoke him in any way. And it was all caught on camera. I mean, he could not be more pleased with himself, whatever the hell he just did. He could not be more pleased with himself. And of course, everybody is compelled to laugh. Everybody just kind of laugh it off, will you? Yeah. I mean, in that situation, what else do you do? The future king has done something rather odd with a wooden toy. So rather than say something, just and of course, some of the people in the room um, could not hide their dismay. They could not hide their shock, especially bruh man back there. He's just like, uh-oh, I heard he likes to sleep rough with black men. I mean, even the bald guy back there is just like, oh my. You see him back there, he's like, oh my. He doesn't seem to be alarmed. The guy all the way back there, he doesn't seem to be alarmed. But most people have either diverted their eyes away or they have laughed nervously, quite sheepishly laughed at the situation. But yeah, otherwise, William is this is the effect that he. I wish they would stop taking people's kids and using them as props for the royal family. Lord have mercy. You cannot unsee it. Once you see it, you cannot unsee it. And that's the truth. You cannot unsee it. Let's see. Preach it, Baron. That's why it bothers me when people say that Meghan should just ignore the abuse. No one should ever have to put up with abuse of any kind. She's been abused for the past 9 years. Yes, only elected presidents have had that many years of abuse. Presidential candidates, they go through a series of abuse for like 2 years, and then all of a sudden, they're done. But in this instance, it's as though Meghan has run for office and has been elected and is making policies for an entire country. That is the way she's being treated. If it's good weather, they lay off of her, but still, there's a tone of criticism underneath. If it's bad weather, then she's the worst person that ever lived. That's how they do the president. If there's good weather, the president gets the praise. If it's bad weather, um, their poll numbers go down. Oh well, that's that Hanoverian. What is it? Um, Gother. What are they? The what do you? What is their last name? Not the Windsor. The the something Gotha. goat goat cheese something. The Swiss Family Robinson. What are they called? Not Swiss Family Robinson. That's a Disney movie. Um, what are their names? uh, oh, I see you. Yeah, short of nugget and no toy. Yeah, I see we're on the same page. The something Gotham City, whatever their names are. Oh man. before they changed it to Windsor. Oh, wait. Okay. And then, of course, Kate's turn. Bye. Remember that? How they were just like, bye. This is when Kate went to a classroom and told the kids there was something wrong with their brains. Remember that? When she told them there was something wrong with their brains. Oh, you're speaking about Jane Byrne, right? Jane Byrne, because of that snow removal. Hello, Baron. Love you and all Sussex squad from Philippines. Well, hello to you too. Thank you so much for saying hi. Sax Coburg Gotha. Thank you so much. Sax Coburg Gotha. I couldn't remember that to save my life. That's it. So it's not Swiss Family Robinson. It's Sax Coburg Gotha. I couldn't remember it. Prince William's private secretary, Christian Jones, quit after 10 months in role. Now, Christian Jones quit back in January of 2021, having helped, allegedly, having helped driven out the Sussexes, allegedly. His work was done, so he left. But not really. You know, they never really go too far. You see what I mean? They never really go so far. They're there, but they're not there. They are there, but they're not there. Because I still say that the second vehicle on the passenger side, that person looks very much like Christian Jones. I don't know if it is, but William is riding with a Royal Protection Officer, and then they are followed by another vehicle, which I suspect is driven by a Royal Protection Officer. And then, of course, William is traveling with his secretary, Christian Jones, or friend, whatever he is to him. Again, I don't know for certain that's Christian Jones. I'm just saying it's the person resembles Christian Jones. You see what I'm saying? Take a look at the ears. Check. Take a look at the nose. Well, it's kind of hard to see because of the graininess and the shadow. But you guys, why is Christian Jones going to the hospital? I'm sorry, going to hospital. I forgot you guys don't say the hospital. Why is Christian Jones going to hospital to retrieve Kate? What was his function that day, if that is Christian Jones? See the eyebrows? He's not standing outside, so his eyes are a little, his brow is a little more, shaped a little lower. His eye is, anyway. The hairline, check. And then even around the, let's say the goatee area, just beneath the lip and to the sides of the lip, you got that same like area where there's very little hair, very little beard. But what sells it for me is the angle of the nose, the brows, the shadow of the beard, and the ears. That's what sells it for me. That's what screams Christian Jones. Question mark. Yep, that's what screams Christian Jones to me. I have still, I cannot forget about this. I keep saying to myself, why is Christian Jones there? Leg says, they said William was going to the hospital. Thank you. That's what I always say. I don't know. Thank you, Legs. Yes, he's going to the hospital. Um, I just find it interesting that Christian Jones, if that is him, I just find it interesting that he's there. What is his purpose there that day? Oh, all I am saying is those pictures could have been taken anywhere. Well, you know what? That's true, but I do believe, and from the timing of it, I do believe this was the hospital day because the car turned the corner. Well, I see what you mean, though. That could have been any day, and it would not be out of the question for the tabloid media to misrepresent because remember, they had those images of what was, they said the Queen was seen driving around the Windsor estate. And yet, the image of the Queen was a stock photo that was taken maybe 2 years prior to that report. They don't always tell you the timing. They don't always give you the exact date of the photo. They will say they will tell you the story, and then they will just grab a stock image and throw it in there. But this was actually a video. This was a video, and I just watched the video. And when the car turned to the left of the screen, it was just too dark to make out who exactly it was, even though the window was down. Too grainy. Um, Another famous image was Kate before the farmer's market. They said Kate went to some sports event with the children, and the image they had on it was either the Sun or the Daily Mail, was an old stock image of Kate and the children. And it wasn't until later on or somewhere further down in the article did you find out exactly which date it was. So they will misrepresent like that. So there's any reason to believe that this is not exactly what it appears to be. I would say that that is definitely possible. Me and Christian Jones, we got a thing going on. Shaving beards and all kind of weird things to do. Oh, you gotta have a beard. Let's see. What is the old saying? If you can't grow a beard, be a beard. I think that's it. Okay. This was that trip to the Ukrainian Cultural Center. Y'all remember that? And there's Kate. I just ran across this photo. I'm not going to tell you why. I'm not going to tell you why I'm sharing this photo, except it reinforces something I just shared yesterday. I'll let you tell me. I'm not going to say because I don't want to get in trouble. But all I can say is someone needs to go to, um, what do you call it? Finishing school. She really needs to go to finishing school. They need to teach her some things that somehow she's either forgotten or she just never learned. You understand what I'm saying? Because even here, you can see if it's not the one thing, it's the other. The other, of course, is that weird facial tick where it's like if she's not doing something weird with her hands, she don't know what to do with her mouth. But either her hands are going or her mouth is twitching, one or the other. They really need to send this poor girl to some type of finishing school because she's got issues. Yes, and this is prior to everything else. Yes, prior to all of that. Yeah. And I feel obliged to point these things out because, after all, they won't leave Meghan alone. Now, I know someone even said in the comments, they said, If Meghan knew the things that you were saying, she would be appalled." Well, Meghan ain't here. This ain't Meghan's channel, it's my channel. And if they leave Meghan alone, I promise you, I wouldn't have anything to say. I wouldn't have anything to say, but they keep trying to find some kind of deficit with Meghan. So I feel obliged to dress them down a little bit to show that they too are humans, facial tics and all. Keep Meghan's name out your mouth, and we wouldn't have anything to say. But when I feel frustrated, when I feel bothered by some of those things, I say, well, look like I'm gonna have to drag somebody. Seriously, I'll wake up, I'll be like, oh, I wanna drag somebody. I wanna critique somebody. Yeah, I wanna drag somebody. Yeah, that's I wake up and I just start singing. I wanna drag somebody. So anyway, it doesn't matter what I think or what I say because, as the derangers have pointed out again and again, William is going to be king. Kate is going to be queen. And that's supposed to shut everything down. Thank you so much, Kavan Slims. And yes, that posture is horrible. Somebody needs to go to finishing school again, perhaps. Baron, have you ever shown that wedding clip with Will monitoring, I'm sorry, motioning, that is, to Kitty to hurry it up? That was the first time I questioned their marriage. I don't remember that one from a wedding. No, I don't think I've seen that one. I don't think I've ever seen that. Was it their wedding? Uh, or was it someone else's wedding? Because I don't think I've seen that one. Huh. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that one. The only thing I've seen where he motioned, oh, you're talking about when they went to the Middle East, right? Yes, I do have that. I do have that. Thank you so much for the super chat. Yeah, let me see if I can find that. I do have that. Let's see here. Oh, I want to drag somebody. I want to critique somebody. Yeah, I want to drag somebody. Okay, okay. Of course, the hard part is trying to remember what did I label that. I usually have to look at the thumbnail. Oh my goodness, I'm glad you said that one because that's a fun one. I love watching that one. Mm. Oh wait, Clueless Kate. I think that's what I called it. Woo! Well, thank you so much for that. Thank you, Legs. They were in the fourth or fifth row. Royal, yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for that. Wasn't that fun? Want to watch it again? I do. Oh man. Woo! Oh my God, that was too much fun. Ah, Miss Z, thank you so much for that. I needed that. Woo boy. Ah, woo. Oh man. Poor Kate. And then watch William wind his hand up like, come on, come on, come on, come on. And Kate's still talking about them early years. And the bride is like, this is not the time or the place. And look at the line. Look at the line of people. All of those people are waiting for Kate. All those people. It's a good thing she wasn't in the front row. Lord have mercy. Clueless. Absolutely clueless. All those times she ain't got nothing to say. Now all of a sudden she's all animated. Let me see. They got Will and Kate sitting next to the Crown Prince of Liechtenstein and his wife. I don't know who that is to the other side of Kate there. Um, let's see. And at the time, that was the Crown Prince of Denmark, now the King of Denmark. He's sitting ahead of them. Isn't that something? They got Denmark sitting a row up closer than they are. And there's Willem. Actually, that's you all know I have a crush on her, don't you? What's her name? Maxima. There's Maxima and Willem Alexander. Yeah, I got a huge crush on Maxima. I think she's so beautiful. And I like the way she's always like dressed to the nines. Is that Jill Biden? I think Jill Biden is sitting next to the lady with the pink and black on. She's always dressed really nice, exquisite. I see Crown Princess Victoria back there with her husband. Yeah, I see her back there. Still sitting ahead of Will and Kate, though. You see that? You got the Crown Prince of Denmark and Sweden sitting a row closer than Will and Kate. Isn't that something? They got Will and Kate back in the principality row. You know what? If that was Harry and Meghan, we would have never heard the end of it. We would have never heard the end of it. Just like they did when they went to Jamaica. They claimed that they were in the worst seats in the house when the head of the studio that made the film was in the same row sitting right next to him. And yet they claimed that that was the worst seat. What was his name? Brian Robbins. He's from the studio that produced the film. And yet they tried to claim that Harry and Meghan had the worst seats in the house. See why I'm so the way I am sometimes? Because I'm just tired of that narrative of theirs. It really grates on my nerves. Anyway, that of course, as I said, was from the Ukrainian Cultural Center. And of course, Kate had to do a Meghan and bring snacks. On that same occasion, and you see, this is why I say, don't tell me to do a blackout. Don't tell me, oh, we're just not gonna we're gonna do the silent thing. I'd rather drag them. Prince William said it's rather normal to see war and bloodshed in Africa and Asia, but not Europe. During a visit to the Ukrainian Cultural Center in London today, it's very alien to see this in Europe. We are all behind you, he told the volunteer there. This is the man who has a degree in geography. And with geography comes culture and history, right? You really can't learn geography without learning culture and history. And of all things, the future head of the armed forces is so short-sighted that he only sees bloodshed and war in Africa and Asia. He forgot about World War I, World War II, the 100-Year War, the War of the Roses. He forgot about all those wars. The War of 1812, the War of Independence with the colonies, the 13 colonies. Forgot all about that. Britain went to war against the United States not once but twice. The War of Independence and then the War of 1812, when they tried to rally their forces and take the colonies back. Somehow, he forgot about that. He overlooked it. Yeah, this is the genius that is going to be king. Yeah, this is the future head of the church, the armed forces, the courts, and everything else. Do you guys realize that everything significant in the United Kingdom is in the king's name, in Queen Elizabeth's name? Now we have we can look forward to all of these things done in William's name. And William will know very little about those things. He has not learned about those things. He is clueless. He does not speak a second language. His grandmother could, his grandfather could, and of course, his father, but not William. Can't even speak Welsh, knowing that one day he would be the Prince of Wales. So they try to do this clever pre-recorded thing to get by, but not the same. Not the same. And of course, as we have shared so many times from that event at the Ukraine Center, okay, you ready for it? Here it comes.
I'm sorry we can only come and give words and comfort, but we are thinking about you the whole time and we really care about what's going on. So
sometimes it's got more than financial.
Well, if we can give you the odd smile here and there, that's important. So, you know. I'm sorry we can only come and give words and comfort, but we are thinking about you the whole time and we really care about what's going on. So
sometimes it's got more than financial.
Well, if we can give you the odd smile here and there, that's important. So, you know.
We can give you a smile here and there. We can only get. Did you hear how fast he was talking like he had a plane to catch? By the way, I woke up today and chose war. Did you hear how fast he was talking like he had a plane to catch?
Hey, girl, sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Hey, girl, sit down. Sit down. Sit down.
Yeah. There you go. Hey, girl, sit down. Yeah, you. Sit down. Hey, girl, sit down. Woo! I'm having fun today. Hello, Baron and Squaddies. I'm late. We'll catch replay. I think they are disgusted with Willie Leaks over destroying Centavale. Among other things, but I'm not sure who the they are. Certainly not the press. But I am disgusted with him. And as you can see, I woke up today and chose war. Thank you so much for 40 months membership. I woke up today and chose war. But yes, tell that girl to sit down. Stars, they come and go. Oh, man. And of course, here is the delicious brownies. And I don't know what those are. Maybe those are s'mores or something. But this is what Kate had in the shopping bag. Kate brought these as a delicious offering to the Ukrainian Center. Now, as far as I know, this has never happened before, and it has not happened since. Right? Supposedly, this came from the kitchens of the Kensington Palace. I don't know. It just kind of looked like they stopped at one of those specialty supermarkets or something. I don't know. I don't think it's homemade though. Let's see. Doretha Green, thank you so much for being a member, and thank you for the super sticker. I really do appreciate it. Let's see. Kate Face was still covered by the Arab guy in front of her. No candelabra. Yes, when you don't have a candelabra, just put him behind us. One of the let's see, where is that at? There she is back there. Craning her neck to try to see what's going on. Yes. There she is, relegated to one of those far back rows. Oh, yeah, you know what? I almost forgot. I do believe that is that Beatrice or Eugenie back there? Is it? Let me see. You can barely see her. See right behind William's head, because there's her husband, Monopoly or whatever his name is. Marco Polo, Monopoly. What is that man's name? Manischewitz, something like that. That's her husband right there behind Kate. And that's Beatrice or Eugenie. I think it's Beatrice behind William's massive head. See that? Also, the Middletons were there. Carol Middleton got an invite. I remember Carol Middleton got an invite. I don't know why she got an invite. But Carol Middleton was invited to this wedding. I kid you not. Oh, well. All right, you guys, I'm just about done. We're going to wrap this up soon. I did not mean to take 2 hours today. I promise you I didn't. Oh, yeah, visiting the farm run by Woodley family in Dubo today. Meghan took a homemade banana bread with her as a gift. It went quite quickly. So there you can see the plate. There is like one or two slices of banana bread left. Again, Kate would have never done something like this, but for the fact that Meghan had done it years earlier, a year or two earlier, whatever it was. That is the only reason why that happened, because the press didn't made a big deal out of it at the time, which they should have, because it was pretty nice to do. I mean, it's, manners. Meghan has grown up with manners. And dare I say, she got that from her mother's side of the family, not her father's side of the family. If it come from her father's side, they would have brought a case of brewskis and some other party favors. But coming from her mother's side, well, banana bread will do. And I think they also brought tea. I think the tea was also provided by the Sussexes. Good night, Jacqueline. So yeah, I am done, you guys. Say good night right now. I'm just going to share this building, a building on the north side of Chicago on North Avenue and Halsted Street. I don't know. I was going through my photos today and I just happened to come across that picture. And I thought I'll just share it with you all just for fun. Let's see. Carolyn Baker says the Feminagra channel is legit. It's the writer herself, a Black woman. Thank you so much for that. Yes, we were trying to decide whether or not the Feminagra YouTube channel, whether or not that is from the writers of Feminagra, the website. Now, of course, to be fair, I have not independently verified that myself, because pretty much I forgot. I forgot. But we'll take your word for it. Let me see here. I'm going to take a look since I'm here anyway. Okay. They have 4 shorts and 2 videos. All right. So they got 6 videos altogether. The channel was established that is April 7th, 2024. 6,448 views. Well, it looks pretty legitimate to me so far. I have to say, it looks quite legitimate. So yeah, let's all take a look and support it. I'm going to subscribe right now. But if we see anything inconsistent, well, y'all know what we're going to do, right? So yeah, do go ahead and support that channel. It looks quite legitimate to me. Thank you very much. And thank you for the super chat. I have just subscribed myself. And I hope the channel is incredibly successful. But yes, I'm going to definitely keep an eye out for it. Good night, Carolyn Mentor. Okay, so as I was saying, that is a 1887 building on the north side of Chicago. Back in those days, they used to call it a block. They referred to it as like the Harris block, the Chandler block, whoever built the building, they would have the name and call it block. Sometimes they would say building, but when they say block, that usually means that it's a combination of offices and retail, perhaps some kind of small manufacturing that goes on. But in this instance, this building, oh gosh, what was it originally? I forgot what it was originally. Let me see here. Oh, it's called the Yondruff block. Yeah. Oh, see, I was right. Oh my goodness, I'm looking at some of the old photos. It's called the Yondorf. The Yondorf. 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 Yondorf block. and hall. So that means there was a theater of some sort inside of it. When they say hall, that means that there's some type of ballroom or open space or theater. So let's see. In 1887, it was built by August and Charles Jandorf, and the Friedrich Anschlager architects are the ones that designed it, right? And I believe that is called a Romanesque style because of those very tight windows. Although it's made with brick, I think it is still considered Romanesque. In 1919, it was the Prudential Savings State Bank and renamed Prudential Hall. In 1958, Sam Rosen buys building and opens Sam's Cut Rate Liquors. You hear that, Church Nelly? Cut Rate Liquors. Did you hear me? It was called Cut Rate Liquors. Anyway, in 1984, the building was added to the National Historic Registry, right? It says, building added to the National Register of Historic Places. In 1990, restoration by architect Vinci, Hamp, and Fitzgerald Associates. So in 1990, it went through an extensive renovation. And then, oh, let me show you the new picture of it, though. I'm sorry. Here's another old pic. Just happens to have a hearse going by. That's weird. And this is what it looks like today. Here, there's a jewelry store in the retail space. In 1998, Steppenwolf Theater buys the building. By the way, Steppenwolf is one of those prestigious theaters in Chicago. We don't have like a single theater district, but, well, we do, but it's not that many theaters. It's downtown. But if you go to Lincoln Park, there's a Royal George Theater, the Steppenwolf, and a couple of other ones. So this was owned by the Steppenwolf Theater, which is just down the block. And in 2001, it was purchased by building designated, it wasn't purchased. It was designated a Chicago landmark. And then if you go to present day, the Jandorf Hall is home to Fay and Company Jewelers, former second and third floor Steppenwolf Theater performance space now for rent. So as I said, there was a theater upstairs, but now that Steppenwolf Theater, which there's also a Steppenwolf Theater nearby, now that space is available for rent. And that was as of 2021. So I'm pretty sure somebody's in there by now. But yeah, that is a 1887 building. Thank goodness they haven't torn it down. Yeah, I'm glad they didn't tear it down. Anyway, just thought I would share that with you on my way out of here. My goal is that we will appreciate some of the vintage architecture in our communities, because Lord knows there's always someone who wants to tear it down. Now, that's old for Chicago. I know people from Europe laugh when we say that building was built in 1887. I mean, people love to say that there are pubs. There are some pubs in London that's older than the United States Constitution. 100 years older than the United States. There's pubs in London 100 years older than the United States. Yeah, I know. But for us, that's old in Chicago, 1887. Let me see, 1887, I think the city was, 50 years old at that point? Yeah, I think the city was like 40 or 50 years old at that point. All right, good night, everyone. Thank you so much. I'll see y'all next time. Operation Drag Willie complete. I repeat, Operation Drag Willie complete. Cheers.